it's safe to assume new Canadian poutine restaurant.co.uk opens up. I go to a grocery store. I walk in and say, hey, you hosers. I want to make Prime Minister quality poutines. And they'll go, what's that? We don't have cheese curds. What is this, Wisconsin? Is this what you're trying to tell me?
This is what I'm trying to tell you.
So why the fuck would CanadianPoutine.com/co.uk, they would make this their national dish, and then you can't even go into a Canadian.grocerystore/com. You can't even buy a cheese curds to make official.
Exactly.
Listen,
you're right. It's a crime.
Listen.
I'm listening.
Do they call French fries chips in Canada?
They do not.
Good. We're off to a good start. All right. So, do they sell brown gravy? How do they sell their gravy? What does gravy come in forms in Canada?
I mean, you can get a can or a mix, I guess.
They sell like a powdered mix?
Yeah.
All right, and they sell it. Do they sell it in
places, if they have poutine, they make their own. It's really good.
Do they like sell it in a jar?
I've never seen that. Oh my god, is that a thing?
Dude, they sell jarred gravy here in America.
That's amazing.
It's not. I don't recommend it. 0.
I wouldn't.
No. 0 out of 10 is not fair. Like 6 out of 10. Like it's like a 6. Okay. So if I was to go into AmericanGroceryStore.com, because we're true patriots, you can buy a French fries, right? Mm-hmm. They have a French fries. You can buy a fry. You can buy
one.
You can buy no. You can buy like a packet.
Okay.
Like an Ore-Ida packet of French fries.
Right.
And they're not cooked. You have to cook them in the oven. So you cook those, right?
Yep.
You have to get the gravy. They do sell gravy in a jar in America.
Uh-huh.
So if you wanted to buy a gravy, you buy a gravy. But no. I don't recommend that though. You should make your own.
Right.
You should make your own. You buy a bouillon, a beef bouillon, and then you add it into a liquid, like a water, like a hot water, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it mixes into a beef. And then you make
into a beef.
Yeah, yes. a beef. And then you add flour to it and makes it really thick, right? And then you put some wine in that shit. No, I fucked up. You make a water. No, not even that. You make a meat or a mushroom, a savory, right? Like a savory. And you cook it until it makes a brown bits in the bottom of the pan. You want that brown. It's called a fond. Fond. And then you deglaze the pan. You add a little bit of liquid to it. Like a white wine. Like
you gotta do it quietly?
Look, you want to do it gently because it's a violent reaction. Because the pan's hot, right?
Right.
A little bit of like gravy. You want to make a gravy. That's what we're doing, right? So you add a little bit of wine. And you add the wine to the pan. And it sizzles. You scrape up all of that font from the meat that you cooked. And it dissolves in the... Right? You see where I'm going with this, right?
I'm seeing it.
Yeah. Alright, so you've cooked your meat, and you've got all those delicious little bits in the bottom of the pan. And you've added your bouzahol. And it evaporates because it's alcohol, right?
Mm.
And then you take that liquid, that concentrated liquid, you evaporate the water out of it. And then you add like a little bit garlic. And you add like some Worcestershire sauce. And it's really good, right? Like, you see where I'm going with this? And so you get all this concentrated liquid, right? Then you add a stock to it. Like a beef stock. Do they have beef stock in Canada?
Yes, it exists in Canada, yes.
Okay, yeah. So you add a beef stock to it. And you can make it. You can make beef stock, right? Like bouillon cubes, which is stupid. Listen. If you're in my chat right now, fuck beef bouillon cubes, right? We don't need no beef bouillon cubes. No, fuck those. We don't know beef bouillon cubes. Those are stupid, right? That's amateur level. That's amateur hour. Fuck those. You go to your grocery store, your Canadian grocery store, or your American one if you're a true patriot. And you go into their aisle that sells these things. You ask a staff member if you don't know, okay? You just ask them. And you say, hey, where's your bouillon section? And they'll go, oh, kind sir, gentle sir, culinarily knowledged sir. The bouillon is located in 12B. And then you go there, right? And they're going to have a little jar of this stuff. This special stuff. It's not bouillon cubes. Fuck bouillon. Because we don't care about bouillon cubes. We want this stuff. It's called Better Than Bouillon. That's literally the name of it.
Is it actually provably better?
Listen to me. I'm not done talking. Stop talking over me.
Okay. Got it.
This is really important. Okay?
Yeah.
You buy this sludge. It comes in sludge form. It's in a jar.
Sludge form.
Yep, it's like $3.50. Okay? It's called Better Than Bouillon. Roasted beef flavor. It's a sludge. It is so good. It is so good. All you do, 1 tablespoon of this sludge, right? 1 tablespoon. No! No. Back it up. Back it up. Beep, 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 beep. Back it up.
Yep.
1 teaspoon. 1 teaspoon. A little bit. 1/3 of a tablespoon, right? Because there's 3 teaspoons in a tablespoon. So if you're watching right now, follow along. 1 teaspoon of this liquid, this sludge, right? 8 ounces of hot water. 8 ounces. 1 cup. If you're imperial, 8 ounces. I don't know how many milliliters this is if you're metric, but the standard unit's imperial. 1 teaspoon. It makes this very, very rich broth. Okay? So you add 1 teaspoon of this Better Than Bouillon to 8 ounces of water. You add a little bit of cooking wine, or red wine, or white wine if you have it. Some garlic if you've got it. It's okay if you don't. I'm not going to judge you if you don't, but if you have it, please add it. Crush a little clove of garlic in there. A little bit of wine, if you got it. Dry sherry, you know, some kind of booze-a-hole, right? You following along? Are you still following me, right?
I'm still following, yeah. I thought I wasn't supposed to talk, though.
It's okay. You're allowed. All right, so now that you've browned your base, you know, mushrooms, beef, some kind of meat product, right? You got these brown bits in the bottom of the pan. You add your beef stock that you've made, right? Then you add your wine and your garlic. This is really important now, okay? It's really important. It's really important that you add this, okay? Garlic salt. Garlic salt. Garlic salt. Oh, hiccups. Garlic salt, okay? Wow, why won't I stop hiccuping? So, wow, this is crazy. Oh my god, I'm gonna die. So garlic salt, right?
It's happening.
Garlic salt. It's concentrated. You only want a little bit. Garlic salt. Like, we're talking like 1/4 teaspoon.
Yeah.
Or 1/2 teaspoon. It's okay. If you add a 1/2 teaspoon, it's okay. Fresh ground black pepper. None of this garbage pre-ground bullshit.
Of course.
Do yourself a motherfucking favor and go yourself right out and you buy a pepper grinder and you buy peppercorns and you insert them into the pepper grinder. I missed my U-turn here. You insert them into the pepper grinder. You grind that shit into the gravy because you're making a sweet, sweet gravy. You've got your wine. You've got your deglazed font. You got your garlic and your wine, and it's all mingling. It's all happy, right?
Mm-hmm.
But are you following me?
I missed everything.
It's all right.
after-
Mahiri's got my back. He's got me, right?
Yeah, I've got you.
You bring it to a boil, so it's bubbling real good, right? You turn down that heat until it's little bubbles, right? Like little bubbles. You got me? You got me.
Oh, I got you.
Okay, this is called a simmer. We're bringing it down to a simmer. You add a little bit of cornstarch. Just a little bit. If you want to be fancy, dissolve it in a cold liquid. Maybe some wine. Maybe some water, some stock. Whatever you have on hand, right? You add that to this gravy. And you stir it into the simmering liquid.
Right.
It's going to thicken. It's going to get real velvety. It's going to get real smooth.
I like it velvety, of course.
Yeah. No, you want it velvety. You want it to have mouthfeel, right? You want
Gotta
to
feel it with your mouth.
listen.
Exactly.
You want to put it on a spoon,
Yep.
and you want to taste it, and you want to go, "Ooh, that's good." You want it to be like, "Oh, that's got some volume to it," right?
Because it's loud, right?
No, you don't want it to be loud. You gentle simmers, gentle simmers. If it's bubbling too violently, you're not simmering anymore. So what you do is once it's simmered a little bit, you let it sit. You walk away. You just walk away from it, right? All these beautiful things have come together at this point. You just walk away. And then it bubbles and it simmers. And then the magic happens, Mahiri. The magic happens. And you're left with a velvety, smooth, rich, deep beef gravy.
Gotcha. That was a long journey, but
I'm sorry
worth
it
it.
was so long, but I trust in that it was worth it. Once you have this delicious, winey, smooth, velvety beef gravy, you pour it over some fries that you've made already. Or chips, if we're from the United Kingdom or the European continent. You call them chips. They're fried potatoes. You cook
Gotcha.
You cook them up to your preference. Oven, deep fryer, pan sautéed. It doesn't matter, friend. However you want them made up. It's all up to you. The ball's in your court. To use an American colloquialism. You got some nice crispy hot fries. You got this beautiful velvety wine gravy that you've made. And then you take your cheese. You want a mild cheese, right?
right.
Something like a Swiss or Gruyere. Maybe a Jack. You know, a mild cheddar. You don't want something heavy. You don't want it to be pungent. Just a mild cheese that's good for me. I mean, like even a mozzarella. Mozzarella's okay. It's real smooth. It melts real nice. It's not oily. It's just smooth. It's velvety. It's gonna mix in real nice with that velvety gravy, right? So you pour the gravy over the fries, then you add your cheese, right? There's a little bit of residual heat at this point because you've made it fresh. And it's good, right? And you'd be like, oh, that's good enough for me, right? That's nice and smooth. That's gonna melt good. No! No, 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 no. You're wrong, right? Because you turn your broiler on, right? You go in your oven. It's got the broiler setting. You set that shit to high. You wait like 3 minutes, right? You take your oven rack and you put it to right below that broiler because there's work to be done and the oven's gonna do it, right?
Right.
You let it heat up real good and you take your pan. You got a pan now of fries, right? You've made up these delicious fried potatoes. Whatever form you've decided, you pour your fries out and you pour that velvety, rich, winey gravy over it. It's so good. And you sprinkle you sprinkle that cheese over it. Oh, that looks good, right? Wrong! Into the broiler it goes.
I thought we already did that.
No! You were setting the broiler. You wanted to preheat it.
Oh, okay.
Because you don't want no weak-ass broiler. You want that shit to be flaming hot. You're ready. You're ready for this. You lay out those fries. And that delicious, smooth gravy that you've made. You sprinkle out that cheese. And be generous. This isn't a time to be shy, right? We're making poutine. Right. This ain't no mamby-pamby, heart-healthy dish. You sprinkle out all that cheese. And then bam, under the broiler it goes. And look, listen to me on this. This is really important. You don't close the oven. You would think you closed the oven door. You're wrong! You're wrong! You don't close that oven door. You know why? Do you know why you don't close the oven door? I'm about to school you, fam. Bro fam, best friend. Because the broiler is not designed to heat up food via convection. Listen, I'm not done yet.
Okay. You sure?
The heating elements of the broiler are what heats the food, not the convection of the oven, not the air. So you leave the door of the oven open a little bit. It'll latch open a couple inches from closed, right? You ever notice that when you open the door, it doesn't close all the way? Until you push it? That's because you're supposed to use the broiler a couple inches open. Not only does this provide proper broiler heat transfer, it allows you to monitor the food. You can watch it while the heat of the elements directly cooks your food. So what you do is you're taking these fries that you've cooked up and this luscious rich gravy that you've made and this cheese that you've sprinkled on, and you place it under the broiler and you wait. You wait just a few minutes. It doesn't take long, just a couple minutes.
Okay. Just a few minutes.
Just a few minutes, right? That cheese, that delicious cheese, it starts to bubble and it starts to broil. And you get a little bit of brown on that cheese.
Okay, I'm here.
And then you pull it out and it makes a sizzling, bubbling noise. And then, my friend, my dear, dear, dear friend, you have yourself a poutine.
Got it.
And you eat that shit. And it's the best poutine you've ever put inside you. And you know why? Because you didn't wait. You spent time to make that luscious gravy. And you spent that time to make those fries and to apply that cheese. You understood what went into that poutine, and it sung to you, it called to you. This, my friends, my dear, dear friends in Twitch chat and joining me on the stream tonight, this is the essence of cooking.
Got it.
You're not bringing together ingredients to make a recipe. You're putting your soul into it. And you are creating something beautiful. And I swear to God, my dear, dear friends tonight, if you follow the recipes I've given you tonight, you will feel the essence in that food. You will feel the love I've put into that food for you tonight. And it will be the greatest culinary experience of your life because you thought of it and you poured your soul into it. Do you feel me?
I'm feeling you.
You get
Feeling you
it.
a lot, in
Shit, I'm
fact.
feeling it.
My friends, you need to understand, food is so much more than combining a couple ingredients together in a pan and cooking it. You need to understand, you are modifying these ingredients. You are melding them to your will. You are making them into something beautiful because you want them to be something. You want them to be what you want them to be. You want to extract every beautiful ounce of flavor. You want to extract what nature has given them. The sugars, the caramelization, the slow cooked flavors residing in each and every piece. Patience is the key. You understand?
Understand.
When you could take 5 minutes to cook that steak on full heat. No. Take 10. Cook it a little slower. Watch that meat caramelize because of the Maillard reaction. You want to take those beautiful, natural sugars that lie within the meat, and you want to caramelize them and bring them to the surface. And you want to apply heat to them. And you want to make them turn into a golden brown crust. You want to bite into that steak and go, oh my gosh, what did this person do? You know what they did? They respected that meat. And they cooked it right as it was intended to be cooked. They took their time with it. And then they come out. And this meat has such a beautiful texture to it. And you're going, oh my God, what did this person do to it? They didn't do anything, you know? They just cooked. All they did was cook it. They didn't microwave it. They didn't put too much heat on it. They just brought what was naturally lying within the surface. And you know what? It probably made something beautiful. And that's all that people need to realize when they cook. Oh my God, I'm drunk. They just need to bring out the natural beauty of these things when they cook. Low and slow. You know, there's a reason that they say low and slow. Because if you go too high with the heat, you get sloppy. You get lazy. The heat does all the work. That's not what you want. Heat's a lousy cook. You want to go slow, and you want to see it for yourself with your own eyes. You want to see the beauty that lies within that food, within that cooking. And you bring it out with love. I tagged these supplies.
Excellent.
Fuck you, burning gasoline truck. You belong to me now. So listen. So what we're getting at here is that...
Our truck's on fire.
Whatever, who cares, right?
Oh no, it's fine. It was different fire.
So, what I'm trying to get at here is that food comes from your soul. You just have to be a patient soul,
He's off.
a slow soul.
He's going on his own.
And you just put that meat in the pan and you listen and you watch. And something beautiful is going to happen with it. That meat is going to... It's going to relent to your whim. You know why? You're not being aggressive with it. You're not forcing it to submit. It's just naturally doing what it was born to do. That piece of meat exists because it wants you to cook it properly. So a little bit of butter, a little bit of olive oil, a good high heat, a little grind of sea salt. Get a good sear on it, both sides, like 2 minutes. Flip it over, 2 minutes. You want to get that color on it, right? You want to get that browning on it, right? Nice and deep, like a good color on it. And then you throw it in the oven. Low temperature, mind you, like 300, 350. And you just let it go. You let it do what that meat was designed to do. and it gets nice and cooked in there, nice and pink, right? We're not talking brown. It's not overdone, just nice and pink. And you take it out. And my God, the most important thing you could ever do when you're doing this with a piece of meat, you let it rest. You let it rest.
It's rest.
Half the time you cooked it in the pan. You cook it for 10 minutes, you let it rest for 5 minutes, right? And when that meat comes out, it's gonna be cooked perfectly all the way through, right? And you slice into it, and those juices that the heat forced out are gonna soak back into the meat, and it's gonna be delicious. And it's gonna be the best steak you ever had, and you're gonna taste the fatty richness that naturally resided in that animal that died for you, in that fat that you cooked the meat in. It's gonna soak it all up into the fibers of the protein. And it's gonna be the most delicious steak you ever had. And you know why it's gonna be the most delicious steak you ever had? It's because you were patient. Because you treated that meat with the respect that it deserves. Because you didn't abuse it. Because you didn't manhandle it. Because you weren't in a rush and you weren't in a hurry. And that meat, all that meat deserves is one caring person to handle it properly. And I'm telling you tonight, my friends, my dear, dear friends in the stream, that is going to be the most delicious steak you have ever eaten in your lifetime. Because you treated it with respect. So ends this soliloquy.
That was a bit more of a soliloquy, I think.
Listen, please clip that entire speech and then upload it to youtube.com/BoxMacLeod. Listen, my friends, everyone that is still somehow, for some reason in this chat, for some stupid reason,
I don't know if...
probably literally no one is in this chat at this point. I killed a rebel. My love for food is now well known amongst the populace.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Each and every one of you that listened to my impassioned speech, you are now my family. So what's natural to you is that you come to my house and you let me cook you a meal. Come to my house. 'Cause you know what? You know what's gonna be in my house? Toxic assets that we just destroyed.
Oh no.
Just kidding, it's gonna be a really good steak.
Oh, good.
So, listen. Cooking is not a hard skill to have. You just need to understand some basics. High heat is your best friend. Fat is flavor. Always season your food. Taste your food. Multiple times. Are you making a pan sauce? Excellent. Good for you making a pan sauce. That's great. Make sure you taste it. Does it need salt? Salt in itself is not a flavor. Salt enhances the natural flavors that already exist within the food. Does it need more flavor? Hint, it's probably not salt you're lacking. You know what it is? You know what the most common mistake that people make when they're cooking food? It's not salt. You know what it is? Mihiri, give me your best guess.
I don't know what it is.
What is the food missing? You don't know, right?
I'm gonna guess it's love.
Nope. Love is not a tangible asset when it comes to cooking food. You know what it is, though? Acidity.
Acidity. You want to steal this plane, by the way?
No, I don't. You can steal that
That's
plane
right.
if you'd like. I'm going to talk about food because I fucking...
Okay.
Listen. 90% of the time, if your food is missing that little pazooper, that little ping pang, that little blip blop, oh no, what is my... It's missing that little zing. Oh, why doesn't it taste good? Fuck you, it's acidity. You know what it needs? Fucking spray some lemon juice on that bitch. Give it a goddamn vinegar bukkake. Oh, the vinegar is not good enough. Oh, it's not working. Balsamic vinegar. Boom, bow. Blam. Wow. My taste buds are awake now. Yeah, no shit. You were lacking acidity, you dumb son of a bitch. Well, now it tastes really good. Oh, I've achieved what they call flavor balance. Flavor balance. You need to balance your shit, right? You could spray a bunch of salt on a food. Guess what you wind up with? Oh, my food's really salty. I wonder why. Well, guess what, ding ding? You've added too much salt to your food. Oh, flavor profile, what's that? Oh, I don't know anything. Oh, acidity. Boom. Red wine. Boom. Balsamic vinegar. Boom. Apple cider vinegar. Boom. White vinegar. Oh, it all adds acidity. Oh my god. Lemon juice? What's that? I don't know. Oh wait, it's juice from a lemon. Oh, I just added it to my food. Oh my god, why does this taste amazing? Welcome to flavor country, you son of a bitch. You added acidity to your food and you balanced it out. Now it's really fucking good. Am I right, son? Hashtag food acidity balance. I just added the right amount of food to my food, and now it tastes really fucking good. If you're one of those son of a bitches like, I eat a ramen packet for food, I'm like, well, listen, ramen packet eater, you just gave yourself scurvy because you don't even know what a food is. I died. Please revive me.
Alright, I'm coming.
Thanks, best friend.
This happen, squad.
Anyway, as I was saying, 95% of the time, people that cook don't understand acidity is an incredibly important balance to have in your food. This can be achieved in any number of ways. Like I've stated, lemon juice, citrus juice, lime juice, orange juice, red wine if it's a beef product, white wine if it's a poultry or a seafood. Wine matches the color of the protein you're cooking it to, right? If it's vegetables, you generally want to go with white wine. But listen, Chef Hour with Chef BoxMacLeod here. So what you want to do, you want to add a little acid to your food. For God's sake, taste your food when you cook it. Get a spoon, put it inside of the food, and put it in your mouth. If it tastes like it's missing a little zip, put a little salt. If it's still missing that zip, you'll need acid, right? A little bit of vinegar, a little bit of wine. It's good, right? Makes it good. If then it's good, a little bit of pepper sometimes is good. Pepper adds a little bit of depth, a little bit of spice. Always a good thing to have, right? If it's missing a little zip, a little garlic salt. Garlic salt's really potent, though. You only want to add a little bit of garlic salt, right? Because that uses garlic oils. And those are very, very, very strong compared to something like garlic powder. So you don't want to go too strong on it, because then your food is going to get too salty. And you can't take salt out. Once you've added salt, that's it. It's in. It's in like Flynn, like it's done. You've merged and you've bonded the salt. So you need to add something to it. And you know what counteracts salt? I don't. Ha ha ha, fooled you. I don't know. Something probably does. I know what counteracts heat, and that's sugar. If your food's too sugary, add some heat to it. Heat balances out the sugar. If something's too salty, throw in a potato. Potato absorbs all that shit. If it's not appropriate to have a potato absorbing the saltiness, well, you've either done fucking goofed, or you need to add more liquid to dilute that salt. What were we talking about?
God, I don't know. Food, probably.
It's been 30 minutes at least.
Oh my god, we're 3.5 hours into this stream.
Yep.
Have I completely stolen your thunder?
It's alright. There wasn't much thunder left to steal.
Have you learned anything from tonight's stream?
I've learned a lot from tonight's stream. Where's this chef?
I am a chef.
Well, I know that, but we need to find...
Well,
That says chief.
I'm sorry.
Oh, it does.
Listen, I'm not an actual chef. I'm just a fat guy that likes to cook. Listen.
So that's 90% of the qualifications.
Hashtag Twitch chat. If you're in my chat right now, use promo code BoxMacLeod Thanksgiving, and then you can come to my house, and I will literally cook you Thanksgiving dinner. You know why? I make a really good cornbread sausage stuffing, and then a roast turkey with butter and rosemary, and then I make a really good green bean casserole, and I make really good sauteed mushrooms. I make the goddamn best garlic mashed potatoes you've ever put in your mouth. Ever.